It's time to look at flowers and eat plants, but also look at plants and eat flowers. It's the best time of the year at EPCOT. The Flower and Garden Festival is back, and this is your ultimate guide. First things first, when you head into any EPCOT festival, make sure you get yourself a passport. This is your guide to everything. It's got the list of all the food booths, what you can get there. It has the garden graze in the back, which is the crawl we're gonna do. We'll get into that. It's got everything you need to know right in here. Oh, hello, gorgeous, goofy topiary. He's so cute for the 50th at the 50th cake. Okay, let's get into the festival. Now, the festival this year runs the longest it's ever run. It started on March 2nd and it runs all the way through July 4th, so you have plenty of time to come and enjoy this festival. And this one is my favorite, not only because it have delicious eats like all EPCOT festivals do, but the park is absolutely gorgeous during this one. Literally thousands of flowers, topiaries, gardens all over the place. It makes this already wonderful park just even better to walk around and enjoy yourself. So let's go. As a little bonus tip, as always, if you have PhotoPass or Memory Maker, make sure you talk to the cast members when you're getting your pictures taken, because there's some specialty flower and garden magic shots you can get, like these right here. And if you've already got Memory Maker or it's included with your annual pass, you get those too, so might as well get some fun shots. One of my favorite things about this festival are the gorgeous topiaries that are around, including, especially I should say, this one of Buzz Lightyear outside Mission Space. He's so handsome, even in plant form. This is another of my favorite topiaries. It's the Lion King one, and you've got Mufasa and Sarabi and baby Simba and Rafiki, and this year they added Timon and Pumbaa over this way. But I adore these topiaries. They're one of my favorite things about the festival, and what's amazing about them is that some of them take as long as 5 years to make and grow. They start with these frames, and then they hand tuck in all of the moss, all of the plants, all of the flowers that make these incredible topiaries. And what makes it even more impressive is that each one has a backup in case something goes wrong when it's on display. So they're incredible works of plant art, and I highly recommend you enjoy looking at them as you stroll around the festival. If there's one topiary I'm excited about this year, it's Buzz Lightyear. If there's another topiary I'm really excited about, it's Snow White, because not only are Snow White and Dopey back, they've been around for a long time, but they finally brought back all the dwarves. So the other 6 are here as well. They're in Germany. They are so cute. And they used to have them, and I used to always love them. This is always one of my mom and I's favorites, and then they got rid of them for a few years, but I'm glad to see that all of them are back. Does anyone else remember when the Peter Pan topiary would be up here, like he was on the rooftop? I think they took it down because he was too small and people didn't see him, but let me know if you know what I'm talking about. I feel like I'm going bonkers because no one ever knows what I'm talking about. If there's one thing Disney won't fail at, it's bringing a bunch of new merchandise to the festivals. And there's not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 new merchandise collections out for Flower and Garden this year. It's a little scattered all about the park, but you'll find merchandise featuring Mickey and Minnie, Figment, Spike the Bee, and Orange Bird. So we are headed into Port of Entry. This is one of the main stores just as you're entering World Showcase if you're headed towards Canada to check out the collections. Orange Bird fans, it's your time to shine. Orange Bird Corksicle wine glass. Orange Bird salt and pepper shaker. OMG adorable Orange Bird mug I probably need to bring home. Orange Bird t-shirt. Orange Bird button down. Orange Bird Dooney and Burke. Orange Bird spirit jersey that is so cute and making me forget I live in a place that's 4,000 degrees all the time. Orange Bird shoulder pal, not festival exclusive, but still very cute. Different sized Orange Bird Dooney and Burke's. Biggest. orange bird dooney, orange bird hat, orange bird bucket hat, orange bird comfy pajama shorts. Looks to be a matching orange bird comfy pajama shirt, but live your dreams. Wear it to the grocery store, wear it to Disney World, wear it to a ball. Moving on now to the Grow Green collection. This is the one that is kind of the general festival collection and features Mickey and Minnie. So here we go. Grow Green mug, Grow Green pitcher slash vase, Grow Green tank top, Grow Green apron, Grow Green gloves, Plant Lady gardening hat, Plant Lady shirt, tote, bucket hat, Grow Green spirit jersey, Grow Green water bottle, shred pitcher, TERRACE. I'm definitely buying that because I buy one every year. They haven't had one the last few festivals, so I'm very excited to see a TERRACE back. Pass holder pin, orange bird pin, Minnie pin, Mickey pin, Figment pin, Spike the Bee pin, Spike the Bee shirt, mug that looks like a mason jar, salt and pepper shaker. But you know what? No one's telling you can't put cumin in here, so live your dreams. Bowl, tote, thin, see-through, but not rain jacket, light over shirt thing. Figment pass holder hoodie, Figment magic band, Mickey and Minnie magic band, the cutest wrist gift cards. I love these little wrist gift cards. I wish they had them all the time, but they usually only have them at EPCOT festivals. You can load it up just like a regular gift card and then use it throughout the festival. One, it's easier than getting your wallet out every time you want to pay for something, and two, it helps keep track of your spending, because if you load $100 on there and then they tell you you're out of money, you're like, oh no, I've already spent $100. And that way you don't keep tapping without any awareness of how much you spent. You can reload it at any of the kiosks as well, so if you do want to add more money, you always can, but let's get eating. If you're like me, your favorite thing to do at the festivals is, say it with me, 1, 2, 3, stare at the Buzz Lightyear topiary. No? Did you say eat? Okay, that's really my favorite thing to do at these festivals. There are over 20 different locations, outdoor kitchens, where you can get delicious eats and treats and drinks throughout the festival, and of course that is the best part of any EPCOT festival, am I right? Now what I love about Flower and Garden is the ingredients that they use. They use a lot of light, bright, fresh, seasonal fruits, vegetables, flowers, and it's not as heavy as some of the food, say at like Festival of the Holidays. I love a lot of this food. It's a lot of my favorite festival all year long. There are some new booths this year. There's lots of new items, so it's going to be colorful, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be delicious. Let's get eating. I am so excited. EPCOT's brunch booth, the Sunshine Griddle, has returned this year, and a lot of my favorites from last year's festival are back on the menu. Here we have the fried cinnamon roll bites with cream cheese frosting and candied bacon. This is a corned beef brisket hash with house-made potato barrels, onions, peppers, cheese curds, a soft poached egg, and Tabasco hollandaise sauce. And this is the Fruit Loop shake, which is non-alcoholic Fruit Loops milkshake. And pay no attention to this, but we are also trying the avocado toast. This is part of the Garden Graze, so you can stay tuned for a review on this one. All right, first things first, look at this egg. Oh, yes, I love a runny egg. Gonna get a little bit of a bite with everything. Love that gooey runny egg. And you've got these nice fried potato barrels, but they're really like, normally when Disney says potato barrels, they mean tater tots, like from a bag, but these are clearly house-made. They're big, chunky, nice fried flavor on the outside. The salty hash, fabulous. This is definitely a very good savory option. Possibly best of the fest. We're gonna wash that down with a little bit of this Fruit Loops milkshake. Which tastes exactly like when you finished a bowl of Fruit Loops and you drink the milk. That's what this tastes like. So I think this is definitely going to be a hit for your kids. Plus it's really cute. And then we're going to do a little dessert action. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Look at that. If you like cinnamon rolls, these are awesome. Imagine a really thin cinnamon roll stuffed with the cinnamon roll icing. And then you've got a little bit of saltiness from the bacon on there. Excellent. This whole booth could go on Molly's Best of the Fest. Next up, we are hitting Farmer's Feast, which is located near Test Track and the Creation Shop. And what's really cool about this booth, it debuted last year, but the menu changes throughout the festival. So as different ingredients become in season, they actually have 3 different menus. They have the early bloom menu, the springtime menu, and the summer solstice menu. So if you're coming to the festival more than once, you can actually try a variety of different things, which is really fun. Keep things fresh, keep things in season, and that's what this festival is all about. Off the early bloom menu, I grabbed the char-grilled bison ribeye. It's served with a creamy leek fondue, roasted cauliflower romanesco, and a port wine goat cheese butter, which sounds like everything I like. Here is a very hot item. It's a goat cheese creamsicle pop. It's a goat cheese and orange cream popsicle with olive oil cake, cranberry sauce, and praline. I love goat cheese. Will I like it in popsicle form is the question. And last but not least, this is the hibiscus lemonade cocktail. It is from the Isla Brewery and Distillery. It's their hibiscus gin, and it's basically just a hibiscus gin and lemonade. But it's really, really pretty, and I'm hoping it's refreshing after eating a cheese popsicle. First up, the ribeye. B, get out of here. I was not expecting this to be that good. I love the topping on the steak. That goat cheese butter is excellent. I also really like the cauliflower with the Romanesco and the leek. It's cooked perfectly. I did not expect to like that so much, and it feels like this would be a good shareable because you get 2 decent sized pieces of meat. And now the goat cheese popsicle. First of all, it's more of a cheesecake consistency, not a popsicle consistency. I, in my head, thought popsicle, like cold. But it's more like cheesecake on a stick. And it's actually pretty good. It doesn't have a ton of flavor. The orange is definitely the stronger flavor over the goat cheese. And now I'm trying a little bit of this, the cake and the sauce with it. It's pretty good. It's light, it's refreshing. If you're looking for dessert that's not super sugary sweet, it's pretty tasty. That is lovely. That is refreshing. It definitely tastes like gin, so if you don't like gin, don't go for that one. It's tart, it's not super sweet like a lot of Disney pre-made cocktails. It mostly tastes like lemonade and gin with a hint of that floral. So overall, Farmer's Feast, very good, very delicious, and I'm excited to come back 2 more times to try new menu items. Next up, Trowel and Trellis. This is an entirely plant-based booth sponsored by Impossible. So of course it comes as no surprise that one of the Garden Graze items is here. We are not talking about that right now. We are instead talking about this Impossible sausage and kale soup. It's a pretty nice serving, so it's got Impossible made sausage in there, as well as some other vegetables, nice piece of grilled bread. Excited to give that a whirl. This is also the booth that's home to the boneless Korean short ribs made with Impossible meat, which I had last year, which flavor-wise were actually quite good. But I'm excited to try this new soup. All right, getting some of the meat. It's like ground meat. Looks like some potato. Getting some of the broth, getting some of the kale. So as someone who fully is on record saying that I don't care for Impossible brand food. I don't like fake meat. I don't mind vegan food at all, but I don't like when it's trying to be real food. This is probably some of the best use of Impossible I've seen because it's in a soup, because it's mixed with all these other different flavors. You're not really, it's not the standout that there's ground sausage in there as opposed to like a veggie burger or something where it's the star of the show. This is accompanied by all these different vegetables, by this broth, by this kale. My one thing is it's a little salty. That's the only thing I'm not loving about it, but it's very flavorful. Also, it's really hot and it's hot outside. So I don't know if you want to eat hot soup when it's hot outside, but maybe when it gets cooler, which doesn't exist in this festival. Or if you eat it earlier in the day or later in the day, it's a nice hearty soup to warm you up. So I actually do like that. I think I like that more than the short rib. Again, it's just a little salty for my palate. Next booth, Jardín de Fiestas. This is the booth in Mexico. Always one of my favorites for dining. Mexico does it right, especially at these festivals. So this is the Taco Vampiro. It's barbacoa beef in a corn tortilla and crispy Monterey Jack cheese tortilla. So the tortilla shell's been like fried in cheese, which is my dream come true. And then it comes with some esquites on the side, which is Mexican street corn. I'm also trying the poppy flower margarita, which is tequila blanco, hibiscus flower tea, cucumber juice, an aperitivo, blackberry currant liqueur, and a chili salt rim. You know when you're baking something with cheese and it falls off the pan and then it gets all crunchy on the pan? That's what this tastes like in the best way possible. Plus the meat is nice and smoky, perfectly cooked, but the cheese on the outside is chef's kiss, and I really don't understand why all taco shells are not made like that. Let's try a little bit of this esquites as well. Fabulous as always. I believe this to be the same esquites that you can get year-round over at Choza de Margarita. Mexico, once again, fabulous. Okay, that's a little sweet for my taste. The chili salt rim definitely has a little kick. But as far as the actual margarita goes, it's a little bit sweet for me. If you are into sweet drinks, you might like it more, but it's a little bit too floral, a little bit too sweet. I'm not tasting enough of the actual tequila. I almost wish it had mezcal in it, so it was smoky to balance out the sweetness. But for me, the win in Mexico is definitely the taco. Ni hao from China, where I've just grabbed some items from the Lotus House, which is always one of my favorites. I love the food at the China booth at the festivals, and they brought back one of my favorite items. This comes to multiple festivals now, which makes my heart so happy. It's the house-made cheesy crab wontons, basically house-made crab rangoon. I'm also trying a coffee boba drink. This is the Marco Boba. It's amaretto, iced coffee, milk, and boba. You can see them down at the bottom if you stir. They have a couple other drinks as well. They have a non-alcoholic rose bubble milk tea, and then they have some cocktails that, I don't know about you, but Jose Cuervo and Smirnoff just don't scream China to me. I know this is still Epcot, but like, you know, I don't, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do drink Tang Dynasty, which features Jose Cuervo tequila and pina colada mix in China, but I think boba's a little more on the nose. And then this is a new item this year. It's the mala chicken skewer. Typically mala is a spicy seasoning, so it's a really big, surprisingly, chicken skewer with some spicy sauce on top, some green onions, sesame, and I'm excited to dig in. Woo! Yes. I had to put it down because it's so tender. I was afraid it was going to fall off while I wanted to talk. That chicken is excellent. Oh my gosh, it is so moist. It is literally falling off the skewer. It's got that really yummy, savory mala sauce on it that has a little bit of heat. It's definitely not super hot, so I wouldn't be too worried. If you're completely spice averse, there's a little bit of tiny heat on the back end when you get some of the good sauce, but it's nothing too aggressive. I love the green onion on there. When I get that again, I'm gonna ask for extra sauce and see if they'll sauce it up a little bit more for me. But wow, that is a perfectly cooked piece of chicken. And now we're gonna move straight into my favorite. They're so good every time. They're crab rangoons, so they're cheesy, cream cheesy crab mixture inside a crispy shell, but you can tell they're house-made because they're nice and fresh and warm. It's a really dense crab mixture in there. Love the sauce. These are like my favorite thing at every festival. Ooh, yeah, that mostly tastes like amarula. So it's a little bit sweeter than I like. Ooh, it's much sweeter than I like coffee, but it's not super sweet as far as dessert cocktails go. It's definitely not as sweet as some of the juice cocktails you'd get. It's definitely not as sweet as if you got like a chocolate liqueur type dessert martini, but it's a very sweet coffee drink. I would say amaretto is the strongest flavor, not coffee. But if you're looking for a boozy boba drink, this is interesting, but I do think you can get a better coffee for a lot less elsewhere and then get a better cocktail as well. But the food items, best of the best. Kind of not Africa section between China and Germany. They have a new soft serve. It's tangerine soft serve, and you can get it in a cup or a cone, or you can make it a float. I do want to point out this is not plant-based. It's soft serve, not Dole Whip, so there is dairy in it. They also have a variety of new beers for the festival, and they have the returning pineapple skewer with tahini, which is plant-based if you're into that. But I'm trying the new soft serve. Tastes like a creamsicle. It's melting very fast. Yeah, I think it's fine. If you like tangerine, or if you like creamsicle flavor, that's what it tastes like. You know what I'm talking about, the orange creamsicle, the orange dreamsicle soda. That's literally what it tastes like at Ice Cream World. And I did spot they're now selling blueberry and or lemonade soft serve at Refreshment Port. That sounds more my speed, but it's good soft serve, so if you're in the mood for ice cream, give it a go. But there's a lot better desserts at the festival and in Epcot in general, so this to me is not it. Time for Bauernmarkt, which is the farmer's market in Germany, and we are calling this booth A Tale of Two Potato Pancakes. But this one we're not going to worry about until we get to the Garden Graze, so stay tuned. This one, however, is the potato pancake with caramelized ham, onions, and an herb sour cream. Looks tasty, nice fluffy potato pancake there. Just gonna get a good bite. Now, they also have that really yummy pretzel roll with ham and Gruyere cheese. They've got a cheese strudel. Germany's usually a fan favorite. I don't know how they make the potato pancake so delicious and creamy when it's clearly plant-based, because they also have a plant-based version of it, but it is so good. It almost feels cheesy, but it's not. And then on top you've got this yummy salty ham, little sweetness from the caramelized onions, and then this little herby sour cream. This is really, really good. In fact, I might even dare to say I like this more than the pretzel roll with Gruyere, which is shocking coming out of my mouth. But these are always really good. These are a fan favorite. They've been on the menu here for years and years, keep coming back, and I can see why. Coming to you from the Italy pavilion now, I've grabbed the arancini, which they've had several times, but it does look a little bit different. It's fried risotto balls stuffed with braised beef, served with a grape tomato salad and a balsamic emulsion. Italy at the festival kiosks is notoriously not the best, although they did surprise me at Festival of the Arts with a really good ravioli dish. So I'm hoping that they are continuing the trend upward and that this will be a tasty treat. So arancini is basically a fried risotto ball, as I said, so you can see the rice in there, you can see the beef. All right, let's get a little tomato. It's not bad. The beef is a little on the drier side, but I really like the sauce. I like the burst of brightness and freshness from the grape tomatoes. And the coating on it is really light and crumbly in a good way. So overall, this is definitely an improvement on other food I've had in Italy before. It's the right temperature, which cannot always be said. But as far as treats at the festival goes, my favorite thing about this festival is when they incorporate new and unusual and lighter and refreshing flavors. There's a lot of florals, there's a lot of fruit flavors. So for me, this is just a little bit too heavy and not a win. If I'm gonna eat something heavy, I'm gonna wanna do something a little bit more unique. But they're not bad. They're definitely better than Italy normally is, but not my fave. Greetings from Magnolia Terrace, which is located in the American Adventure, where we have a variety of southern staples. I'm going with a little bit adventurous and a little bit not adventurous as far as my palate goes. Here we have grilled oysters with Cajun butter, and there's literally a team of chefs out there grilling them as you speak to order, which is really, really cool. I'm not a huge raw oysters fan, but I'm feeling like these grilled ones with Cajun butter might be a different story. I'm also trying the house-made boudin bites, which are featuring Ben's original TM long grain white rice, aka this booth is sponsored by Ben's. But boudin is basically pork and rice, and it's fried, and it looks delicious. And then lastly, I'm trying one of my favorite sweets, which is a pecan praline. These are a southern staple. They're basically pecans and sugar is the main ingredients there. So I don't even know how to do this. Okay, it tastes fine, and I put a lot of hot sauce on it, and I like the Cajun butter, and it definitely doesn't taste like I'm licking the sea the way when I've tried the raw ones, but it's the texture for me. That's gonna be a no. Maybe if I'd had a cracker to put it on to balance the slimy texture, but for me that's a no. But if you like oysters, I feel like these are good because they're grilled fresh right there. The Cajun butter's nice. So let me know, weigh in. And I do definitely like them more than the raw oysters I had at the boathouse. I'm getting confirmation to the side from my co-YouTube manager slash friend, Megan, who's from Louisiana. She's saying they're good, so listen to her. Now trying the boudin. It mostly tastes like rice. And Megan's telling me that there's a lot of rice compared to normal boudin. You can look at it. But it's good. It tastes like a fried rice ball. I wish there was more of this. It feels like a some kind of like Cajun or Creole aioli on top. I wish there was more of that. And it is mostly rice, so I don't know if I'd eat this again. I think if you are a seafood person, if you are a Cajun style food person, you're better off going with something a little more unique like the oysters or trying the gumbo or the boil, but I think the oysters are gonna be the winner here. And last but not least, this yummy looking praline. They're so good. And what I love is this year they're actually wrapped up with a little package so you can take it home easily, because these babies are so sweet. They are just butter, sugar, and pecans for the most part. I don't know if you could possibly ever sit and eat one this big. I mean, it's like almost as big as my face. It would be hard to eat this whole thing at once. So that's a really good sweet. And if you're not from the South or visit places like Charleston, Savannah, you may not have had one of these before, and they're delicious. Okay, it's time for one of my favorite treats during the EPCOT festivals. At the funnel cake stand near American Adventure, they always do a mini funnel cake, that's specialty. Sometimes they're big hits, like they did a pumpkin one once. Sometimes they're misses for me, like the cherry one during the Festival of the Arts tastes like medicine. But this year, for Flower and Garden, it is a strawberry cheesecake mini funnel cake. But it's actually a pretty good size. It doesn't really feel mini to me. But you've got strawberry cheesecake ice cream on there. You've got little cheesecake bites right there. Little strawberry drizzle on top. I'm so excited to try this because I love strawberries and cheesecake, and I hope it doesn't taste artificially flavored. All right, trying to get a good bite. Everything. Got a cheesecake cube. Got a funnel cake cube. Or a funnel cake piece. Come on. I both love it and don't love it. What I'm not loving is the strawberry sauce. That tastes really artificial to me. But the strawberry ice cream is very, very good, as are the little cheesecake bites. They really do taste like little perfect noshes of cheesecake. And of course the funnel cake is warm. I'm perfect. For me, where it's missing is the drizzle is a little artificially strawberry for my personal preferences. So if I got this again, I might ask them to hold the drizzle or go a little bit lighter on it. But overall, I definitely think this works. This is definitely, doesn't feel like a mini funnel cake to me, so very shareable. If you like strawberry, if you like cheesecake, I say give it a whirl. I could eat a whole bowl of this strawberry cheesecake ice cream though, I'll tell you that much. Konnichiwa from Japan, where I have gotten a feast, and I'm very excited because one of the best, most delightful festival items has returned. This is one of the fan favorites. I'm of course talking about frushi, which is fruit sushi. It's strawberry, pineapple, and cantaloupe wrapped in sweet rice and a pink soy wrap, served with whipped cream, drizzled berry sauce, and toasted coconut. This is a fan favorite every year, and I'm thrilled that it's back. Also trying one of their new meat dishes. This is chicken yakitori. It's grilled chicken with scallions, a red pepper soyu emulsion, and pickled onions. And then last but not least, I'm also trying one of their new cocktails. This is a cucumber cooler. It's sake sochu, which is vodka, and cucumber garnished with a cucumber slice. Chicken. First things first, you have to get the pickled onion in the bite with the chicken to make this work. The chicken is fine on its own, but with the crispness and the acidity of the pickled onion, a little bit of sweetness, because it was clearly like a yellow onion or a sweet onion, it makes it a lot better. I will say I'm not as dazzled by this one as I was by a similar dish in China. I liked that spicy mala sauce a lot more flavor, a lot more uniqueness. The red pepper sauce was fine, but it wasn't anything over the top flavor wise, so this one's just okay for me. It's definitely not best of the fest. If you're gonna get chicken on a stick, I would get the one in China. Frushi! So simple, so perfect. It's just fresh fruit, slightly sweet coconut rice, and then you've got this really nice berry glaze on it. I love the toasted coconut. I wish there's more of the toasted coconut. This is best of the fest every year because it's literally fruit, but it's presented so fun. It's light, it's refreshing, it's the best. Woo! Hello. All right, I love cucumber-based cocktails because they are so refreshing and light. They're perfect for poolside or a hot day like today, and this is no exception. It's a little bit sweeter than I prefer cocktails, but I think that's unusual. I think more people prefer sweet drinks than I do, and it's definitely still boozy. You can definitely taste the sake in there. I feel like this one's gonna be a sneaky surprise where you're just enjoying a nice refreshing cooler, but it's gonna sneak up on you because it's got vodka and sake in it. So this would be a great drink if you don't think you like sake to try to dip your toe in, because it's got that distinct sake rice alcohol flavor, but it mostly tastes like a refreshing cucumber. So a win for Japan in my opinion, but the best thing at the booth is still frushi. Shalom from Morocco, where I have grabbed one of the most beautiful eats in all of the festival. This is the vanilla, rosewater, and pistachio panna cotta. This actually debuted a few years ago at the Festival of the Arts, but it's been so beloved and popular that they brought it back and put it on the Flower and Garden menu. Now, what's interesting about the Morocco kiosk is that, one, it's not really a kiosk at all. They're still using Tangerine Cafe, and they're using a lot of the same menu items. The lamb and chicken kebabs, which are very good, have been on the menu for the last 2 festivals, so this would make it the 3rd time. And they do have a new flatbread. They've got a couple of ciders and different drinks, but what looked the best and most exciting to me was this amazing panna cotta, and I hope it's as good as I remember from a few years ago. I hate damaging it because it's so beautiful, but look at that. Yum, yum, yum. It's definitely that mousse texture, so if you're not into that, I would avoid. However, the panna cotta is light and fluffy and whipped almost, more than a mousse texture. It's got that nice vanilla, that nice floral freshness from the rosewater as well, and a little bit of crunch from the pistachio. Overall, it's a really good dessert, but it's not sickly sweet. It doesn't feel artificially flavored, and it's absolutely beautiful. I do think it's wanted to be a little harder to get your kids to try compared to some of the more approachable desserts that they may have seen before, but for someone who's a little bit more of a foodie, wants a more unique, beautiful dessert, this is really tasty, so give it a whirl. All right, Disney knows you can't get enough of Encanto, so they have kept the Encanto's themed booth that they had at Festival of the Arts, but it's now La Isla Fresca, and yes, it does have arepas, but also outside they have the Encanto garden with lots of different topiaries and plants, all inspired by Colombia and Encanto. From La Isla Fresca, trying 2 different kinds of arepas. Here are just the cheese arepas, just melted queso fresco on there. You get 2 of them when it's just the cheese one. And then there's also a shrimp and a chorizo arepa. I went for the chorizo. You get 1 arepa. It's got a delicious chorizo looking sauce on there, as well as some queso fresco. Okay, I'm gonna try the cheese arepa first, and I'm wondering if this will heal my allergies. Did Mama Julieta make this? And will it cure me of my ailments? As someone whose favorite food is cheese, this is like right up my alley because it is so cheesy. If you don't like cheese somehow, this one probably would not be for you. The arepa's cooked very well. It came out warm and fresh, crispy on the outside. And there is a lot of gooey cheese on top. I do wish that there was a little something more. I wish there was some kind of like jalapeno or spice because it is very bland. But that does mean, in my opinion, that it will be great for kids. It would be a good starter food for people that are less adventurous than those who want to try something a little more exciting, like the chorizo one. Okay, I thought it was gonna be a no-brainer that the queso one would be the winner, but the chorizo one's actually the winner because it's still that delicious arepa with the cheese on top, the queso fresco, a little bit of cotija cheese on there, but now you also get a little bit of spice. You get a little tiny bit of heat from the chorizo. There's a little green onion on there, so this one's definitely more flavorful, and it doesn't leave you wanting a little bit more. So if you've got picky eaters, maybe go for just the cheese one, but if you've got people that want to try something a little bit more flavorful, go for the chorizo one, and this is definitely going on Best of the Fest. Bonjour, we have made it to France, and my expectations and hopes and dreams for a festival dish have never been so high before. This is the brand new croissant au fromage de chèvre herbes à la rôtie, which is a goat cheese, herb, and roasted garlic croissant. I like all of those things very, very much, and I love the food in the France Pavilion, so my sights are so high, maybe too high. But I'm very excited to try this. I'm also sipping on the Grand Mimosa cocktail. It's got Grand Marnier champagne and orange juice. Trying this instead of my usual favorite here, which I'll still recommend, which is the La Vie en Rose frozen slush. It's one of those classic French slushy drinks they have in this pavilion. That one has vodka, Grey Goose, orange, Saint Germain, white and red cranberry juice, but I thought I would review something a little different last year, but just know that one has my stamp of approval as well. The pressure, unmatched. The tension, palpable. The stress, only in my brain. Let's go. I need to sit down. Oh my, what? This is everything I've ever dreamt of in my whole life. Okay, I'm gonna give my one con is I wish there was more of that goat cheese filling in it because it's so good. All right, you obviously have to like goat cheese, but it's a warm, herby, soft goat cheese shoved into the middle of a fresh, flaky, buttery croissant. That's it, and it's what France does best, which is simple food presented beautifully and perfectly. They hand make all their croissants. I'm gonna eat 57 of these before this festival is over. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 this croissant and I need a minute. We are now in love, and we need a minute, excuse us. All right, well that just tastes like a mimosa, so. Hello there, from the UK, where I guess I'm now Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can never get the British greeting right. Hello. I'm sorry, I'll stop. The Cider House is in the United Kingdom, and it has a brand new BLT scone. It's got applewood smoked bacon, sun-dried tomato, and basil. And then I also, because it's the Cider House, am doing the cider flight, which has these 3 different, very beautiful and pink ciders. There's a pink lemonade hard cider, a watermelon hard cider, and a triple jam hard cider. Well, is that not just a little drop of heaven? I don't know why I became really southern to say that when I'm talking about something from the UK. That has so much sweet and smoky bacon in it. That's the main flavor. And then you've got this nice, thick and crumbly but not too dry scone. And then you've got this nice sun-dried tomato flavor, freshness from the basil, and then this like honey tomato sauce on the side, it is excellent. For a long time they had a smoked salmon scone, which I wasn't a big fan of, not loving smoked salmon, but this is excellent. And if you're a bacon fan, give this one a try because it's very unique and excellent. I'm putting it on Molly's Best of the Fest. Now, let's try some cider. First up, pink lemonade, the one I'm most excited about. I'm doing this in the order opposite of what I normally do. That tastes just like pink lemonade, which is absolutely dangerous because it's absolutely boozy hard cider. Tastes like a nice pink lemonade. Watermelon. Tastes like a watered down watermelon Jolly Rancher. So definitely artificial, but not quite as strong as artificial candy because of the tartness from the alcohol kind of cuts it a little bit. And now the jam, the triple jam. That one is definitely the sweetest. That one reminds me the most of traditional cider. Strong berry flavor. For me, it would go in the order I drank them: lemonade, watermelon, berry. But all three are really nice, light, not too sweet. Perfect for a hot day and perfect for Flower and Garden. If you've been to an EPCOT festival before, you may know that the Joffrey's carts around the park get involved, and each of them bring a specialty beverage. This year for Flower and Garden, they are all doing different refreshers. So think kind of similar to the Starbucks refreshers. They're lightly caffeinated fruit refreshers. This is the Strawberry Fields. It's strawberry acai refresher with strawberries and blueberries on the top there. You can add alcohol if you'd like, and each of the 4 kiosks around EPCOT have a different one, so you can check them all out if you're interested. It's not coffee. It's fine. It's too sweet for me. I definitely wouldn't order this over coffee. It might be better with a little vodka in it, which is what they'll spike it with if you'd like. These are not something I'd order at Starbucks. They're certainly not something I'm gonna order at Joffrey's. I'm obviously ordering coffee, but they are fun and maybe a little bit more kid-friendly as you're working your way around. Or if you're really hot, it might be refreshing. But for me, if you're gonna drink something sweet, I'd rather drink one of the festival cocktails. And if I'm stopping at Joffrey's, I'm getting iced coffee. Greetings from Canada, I don't know why I do that every time. The Canadians that watch this, I'm so sorry. Do you guys even say A for real? I'm sorry I've done this. Anyway, these are items from Northern Bloom, which is the Canadian kiosk. First up, we have beef tenderloin tips. They've got a mushroom bordelaise sauce, whipped potatoes, and garden veggies, which you can see are carrots currently. Also, the maple popcorn shake. This is the non-alcoholic version, but you can also get it where it comes with a floater of maple rye whiskey. Surprising to no one, beef in Canada is amazing because it comes from the same people that do ISLA. The steak is excellent. It's actually a pretty nice serving. It's a higher cost item, but it actually is a pretty big serving of steak. It has wonderful whipped potatoes. Those are excellent. There's definitely Worcestershire. You know what I'm talking about. Sauce in the mushroom bordelaise. There's also big chunks of mushrooms, so if you're not a mushroom fan, a heads up that those are in the sauce, and I don't think there's going to be a way for them to get those out of there. The sauce is a little bit sweeter as well, and then you've got those nice cooked carrots. Overall, it's a really solid beef dish. Yep, that tastes like maple vanilla milkshake, and then it's topped with literally the caramel corn from the Canadian popcorn carb right here. It's good, it's fun, it's something your kids will enjoy, but for me, I would rather just get the box of the popcorn and then get another drink somewhere else that's not so sweet. But it's fun, it's whimsical, and I think this is an A+ one for the kids. Picked this up from the refreshment port. This is a lavender martini. So it's vodka with lemon and lavender, and it is a nice light pale purple kind of, and it does have a little lavender sprig in it, so interesting. It smells like perfume. Or soap in a fancy bathroom. Oh, but it tastes delicious. Hello. So I'm not really tasting lavender. I'm definitely smelling lavender, but it mostly tastes like lemon and vodka, which is a combination you can't beat, am I right? That is fantastic, and I'm not normally one who loves pre-made cocktails at Disney. Much like the hibiscus gin one, when you make the cocktails lemon forward and not sweet fruit juice artificially flavored forward, they're actually quite nice, and that's why I love this festival. It's all about light, bright, refreshing flavors. Yeah, that's fantastic. I would say this and the hibiscus one can go on Molly's Best of the Fest, and it's really about whether you like gin or vodka. Next stop, Citrus Blossom. This is the infamous booth that launched the Orange Bird Sipper years ago, which created quite a craze, not to be topped until Figment Popcorn Bucket. And they still have the Orange Bird Sipper. It's just a little bit different looking now, but it comes with an orange lemon freeze if you'd like that. But they also have, and actually many booths have these for $2.50, the Spike the Bee reusable spork, which I love. You can grab it at one of the booths and then rinse it off and keep using it, take it home. A great little inexpensive souvenir and way to reuse silverware throughout your adventure. This is the tuna taktaki bowl. It has a spicy yuzu glaze, mango avocado, and a papadum crisp on there. It looks like some really good seared ahi tuna. Excited to dig into that. Also doing the beer flight. So because this is Citrus Blossom, all of the beers are citrusy. Let's see what we've got here. We have a key lime hibiscus ale, an orange peel ale, and a citrus honey cream ale. So with any of the beers, they have lots of beer flights throughout the festival. At any place you can get a 6-ounce or a 12-ounce, or lots of places offer a beer flight, which you know I love to do, so you can sample multiple things. Made myself a perfect little tuna bite. That is bright, that is crisp. A little bit of heat from the spicy sauce on there. The tuna is cooked perfectly. Love the crisp from the papadou on there. Love the fresh mango and avocado. Little crispness and sharpness from the red onion as well. That is an excellent dish. If you're a seafood fan, I definitely recommend checking that one out. I think the ahi tuna fans in your party will be delighted by that one. You know what? You know what? We're putting that one as the Fest seafood. It's going on the list. Now let's try this beer flight. First up, key lime hibiscus. I'm mostly tasting lime. It tastes a lot like getting a Corona or another Mexican style lager and just putting a lime into it. I'm not getting a lot of hibiscus. That said, it's very light and refreshing. Next up, orange peel. Oh yeah, now that is what I'm talking about. It tastes like a lighter Blue Moon or wheat beer because it's very light with that fresh orange flavor, very refreshing on this hot day. That is excellent. And last, a citrus cream honey ale. Oh, I did not expect that to be so creamy, but it's still light somehow. It almost tastes like soda. It has a nice flavor to it, but for me, definitely the winner on that one is the orange. I would get the orange one again in a regular size. I love doing flights because you get to try a variety of flavors, but the clear winner on this one for me is the orange. Popped by the Honey Bistro, which is one of my favorite booths because of the theme. It's all about the importance of honeybees, and it's really cute and well decorated. There's a little honey garden around it, and it also, all the menu items feature honey, of course. This is one of my favorites year after year, so I'm excited it's back. It's the lavender honey mustard marinated chicken flatbread, and it's got whipped honey ricotta cheese, marinated veggies, and goat cheese on it. And look at a pretty decent serving for $6. That's like a piece of pizza, so that's not too bad, and I'm excited to see if it lives up to my memory from last year. Molly Special the Fest. The crust is so tasty. I don't know why quick service pizza isn't that good at Disney World, but yet this pizza is so good. There's so much cheese on here. It is nice and cheesy with that honey ricotta. Between the honey ricotta and the honey mustard, it's got a little bit of sweetness, but then you've got the savoriness coming from that cheese. And then a little light brightness from the lavender, and it's a fun, exciting, bright flatbread, but it's also not so unusual that if you've got little ones in your party or pickier eaters, you can probably get them to eat this because it's just basically a cheese flatbread. Also want to point out, this is where you can get that really cute Spike the Bee sipper with the honey peach slushy inside of it. So if you're looking for Spike the Bee, he's right here. Picked a couple of goodies up from the Flavorful Kitchen, which is right here on this pathway from Imagination to World Showcase. It's right next to the Flavorful Health Trail, which is a really cute playground your kids can enjoy. And it's got one of the best views in all the festival, in my opinion, because you're next to this gorgeous flower bed with all of the amazing flowers. You can see Spaceship Earth. Couple of items here. This is the grilled corn. That's on the Garden Graze, so stay tuned yet again. This here is a drink, and it's called Cookie Butter Worms and Dirt. It's basically like chocolate milk, but it's cookie butter flavored. It's got some Oreos on top and a gummy bear. Huh. You know, whenever I hear things are cookie butter, I want it to taste like cookie butter from Trader Joe's, and when it doesn't, I'm disappointed. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So I gotta get past that so I can fully review this. It does taste like liquid cookies. with Oreos on top. It tastes like thick chocolate milk that's sweeter than chocolate milk, if possible. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not something I would get again as an adult. I think your kids will go absolutely wild for this. I think that if you like sweet things, this is gonna be one for you. I don't think this is as unique or as fun as the Fruit Loop shake over at the Sunshine Griddle. And especially if you're an adult who's gonna be drinking alcohol, there's definitely better boozy drinks out there. But I think the kids, this is the one for you. Swung by Pineapple Promenade to get one of my favorite Flower and Garden treats of all. This is the frozen violet lemonade. This is a non-alcoholic drink and it is so delicious, and now it matches my hair, which is fun as well. There is an alcoholic version, but I just love getting the non-alcoholic, and it's kind of melted now, but it is so tasty and I'm glad it's back again. Look, it totally matches my Star Cruiser hair, which I guess makes this now Flower and Garden hair too. It is so good. If you are gonna do one of the non-alcoholic frozen fun drinks, this has gotta be it. It is so fabulous. It's definitely sweet, but it's also tart because of the lemonade, and it's got this nice bright freshness because of the violet. It doesn't taste as sugary sweet to me as that cookie butter one or as the Fruit Loop shake. I've decided to kick things up a notch. I got another violet lemonade, non-alcoholic, and the violet lemonade ale, and we're gonna do a throwdown between the two to see which is the better violet beverage. Lemonade, round two. Oh, so good. Slightly sweet, little tart, a fan fave, a must-have. Let's try the ale. Yeah, I don't think you can really compare them. This doesn't have the violet flavor, the floral flavor that the non-alcoholic version does. It tastes just like a shandy beer. It tastes like a lemon shandy beer. So I'm very much enjoying it because it's very light, refreshing, crisp on a hot day. But I'm not getting as much of the floral as you do in the violet lemonade. So I would actually say if you're only gonna get one, go for the classic, go for the non-alcoholic frozen. It's more refreshing on this hot day, but the beer is quite nice as well. One of my favorite and most underrated things about this festival is that in addition to the beautiful topiaries and the big garden displays you can see everywhere, there's actually little themed gardens all around EPCOT. Now my favorite one we're about to go explore, it's Baby's Butterfly House, which is an actual butterfly garden with live butterflies flying all around you. They're so pretty.
Oh, you are an aggressive little one, aren't you?
I'm wondering if maybe if I stand here. Oh. Oh, oh. A new garden this year is Blossoms of Fragrance, and this one is all about smell. Scentsy is the scent company that is partnered with Disney. They make a lot of scented oils and candles and things. And so you are supposed to walk through this very pretty garden and smell. One thing I absolutely adore about this festival is that it keeps blooming and it keeps getting more beautiful as the days go on. So right now here in the water, the lagoon, you'll see that these don't really have flowers on them, but throughout the festival they might start to bloom or they'll swap the plants out. You'll see some of the topiaries like Lady and the Tramp. Lady's ears aren't really grown in yet, but as the festival goes on, they'll get bigger and fluffier. And this is just the most beautiful time to be at EPCOT, and the horticulture team does such an incredible job maintaining this gorgeous park all the time, but especially during Flower and Garden. It just makes me happy to see all this bright colors throughout the park. One of my favorite gardens on display is the English Tea Garden in the United Kingdom Pavilion. And like last year, they have a self-guided tea tour. Just ask for one of these little pamphlets and it'll teach you all about the different kinds of teas that they have around the garden. Now last year they gave you tea bags to take home. This year they're giving out tea samples, but it's a cute little way to learn more about tea if you're interested. In fact, fun fact, it takes 4 to 4.5 pounds of fresh leaves to make 1 pound of tea. Huh, bet you didn't know that. Back again this year is the scavenger hunt, Spike's Pollen-NATION Exploration. So they do these little scavenger hunts at all of the EPCOT festivals. The map is $9.99 plus tax, and you can use discounts on it, so I used my annual pass discount on it. But basically, it's a way to get you to explore the festival in depth. This time you're looking for Spike the Bee. He's super cute, and he will be located in different gardens and topiaries around the festival. Once you find him, you put the flower or the plant that he's with on the place you found it, and then once you're done, you turn it in and you get a prize. Currently, you can buy these at basically any Disney-owned merchandise location. locations. So Gateway Gifts right here at the front, the pin store here at the front, Creation Shop, Disney Traders, World of Entry, etc. And then you can redeem it at Creations, Disney Trader, and World Traveler. You don't have to do this all in one day if you're an annual pass holder or coming back multiple times. You have until the end of the festival to get your prize. Completed my Spike the Bee Pollen-Nation exploration. Here's the answers, don't look. There's a reason I don't show you all the bees or give you the answers, because I want you to come have fun and do this as well. So it's really cute. It really invites you to explore a lot of the little gardens that are around World Showcase. So now it's time to go get our prize. All right. So they still have the plates from Festival of the Holidays, so I can do Olaf and Sven, Olaf and Sven and Anna and Elsa, or just Olaf. I will do this one, please. Yep. So currently, the first few days of the festival, they haven't gotten the Flower and Garden prizes in yet. He told me that he'd heard they were little Tupperwares with each of the mascots of the festivals on it, so stay tuned to AllEars.net because we will certainly update once those new prizes come in. As always, I don't do this for the prize, even though these little Tupperwares sound very cute. I do it because they're a fun way to walk around World Showcase, explore little places that you might not have noticed. I think they're especially great for kids when mom and dad, you want to walk around and eat and drink and explore the festival and look at the topiaries. It's a great way to get your kids involved and looking for things in the gardens as well. So I always enjoy doing those, and this year was no exception. Back again this year, the Garden Rocks concert series. There are 3 shows for Garden Rocks, 5:30, 6:45, and 8 p.m. and the lines can get rather long depending on who's playing. Some of the bands are very popular and will attract longer lines. Other bands, you can stroll up just a few minutes before the show and grab a seat. But no matter what, I recommend getting here early just to make sure you can get a good seat. There is one way to skip the line and guarantee seating at the Garden Rock shows, and that is by booking dining packages in advance. There are 4 restaurants around Epcot, including the Coral Reef and the Beer Garden, that if you do the dining package, you will get a voucher for a reserved seating. So if there's someone you really want to see, you may want to consider doing that. Additionally, the same way we've seen at Festival of the Holidays and Festival of the Arts recently is that at Spice Road Table and Regal Eagle, you can do a day of dining package where you go see if they have availability. It's based on a first come first serve basis. You pay for a little bit more expensive than a normal quick service lunch, but not quite as expensive as a table service meal, and you get a voucher for reserved seating that way as well. Back again this year is the Garden Graze. This is the food crawl that they have at this festival. They do one at every festival, and the Garden Graze at Flower and Garden is a plant-based eats crawl. So there are 5 booths around the festival that each have a special item. You can choose any 5 of them. You can get one of each. You can get 5 of all the same thing if you'd like to. Once you get all 5, get stamps at each booth, bring it here, and you get a special prize. So we are going to go around and get all of the different Garden Graze items as well. Also note, you don't have to do it all in one day. If you're local or coming back more than one day throughout the festival, you don't have to get 5 things just in one day. This is the avocado toast from Epcot Sunshine Griddle. It's again part of the Garden Graze. It's got marinated toy box tomatoes on toasted ciabatta bread. And I remember loving this last year because I love avocado toast. I'm just basic like that. But also look how gorgeous it is with all these edible flowers. It is so good. Now I know it's just avocado toast, so it's hard to sometimes justify the cost of buying Flower and Garden items when you're literally just buying avocado and bread. But it's really, really delicious. The avocado is nice and smooth. You've got this nice toasty, not buttery, but probably olive oily bread. It's holding up really well to all the avocado. It's absolutely beautiful. I would have gotten this anyway, and I'm just even happier that it's on the Garden Graze. This is one anybody can enjoy because it's plant-based. This is Trowel and Trellis, which is an entirely plant-based booth, so no shock that they have one of the items on the Garden Graze. In fact, the chefs were just grilling them fresh right here and bringing them in. These are the grilled baby vegetables with a hummus cream and a red pepper coulis. So I'm seeing some eggplants, some carrots, some squash. These have been a hit year after year, and they're literally just grilled vegetables, but they're pretty tasty. Sometimes there's nothing better than just fresh grilled vegetables. And again, they literally are grilling them right there. The chef keeps going back and forth. She's grilling them right there. The hummus is light and tasty. The red pepper adds just a little bit of spice and heat to it. But most of all, they're just really nicely grilled vegetables, which sounds really boring. And maybe if you're not a plant-based eater or doing the Garden Graze isn't something that appeals to you. But if you're looking for something simple and delicious, these are pretty good. And from BAUERNMARKT, which is farmer's market in German, we have the potato pancakes with house-made applesauce. All right, so I'm not the biggest applesauce fan, but I always love these pancakes because they are like perfect, and they remind me of growing up. My mom and I used to make potato pancakes for dinner sometimes, so I always think about that. I just don't love applesauce in general, so the applesauce portion is not for me, but the potatoes pancake is so good. It's creamy and delicious, but it's plant-based, so I don't know how they've done it, what they've put into it, if it's not butter or cream. Oil and magic, probably. The applesauce does have a really good flavor. Because it's house-made, it's not as sickly sweet. It doesn't taste artificial at all. It's very good. Applesauce is a consistency thing for me, but this would be a great one for picky eaters, little kids. I think they're going to be all in on this one, so another hit on the Garden Graze. From La Isla Fresca, which is the Encanto-inspired booth, this is our next item on the Garden Graze. It's a coconut tres leches cake, which is a vanilla cake soaked in oat milk, almond milk, and coconut milk, and topped with toasted coconut. I love coconut, so I'm really excited to give this a whirl. Ooh! It's light and refreshing. Definitely has that yummy coconut flavor, so if you don't like coconut, this would be a no for you. But the topping looks like it's going to be really heavy, but it's not. It's very light. You've got the little crisp bites from the toasted coconut, and the cake itself is very moist and delicious. I don't think if I didn't know this was plant-based, I would know. A lot of times with plant-based desserts, you can tell because they tend to sub in oil for butter, but by using the different kinds of nut milk, this is excellent. Also going on best of the fest. And the final stop on the Garden Graze for us today is the corn on the cob from Flavorful Kitchen. It's grilled corn on the cob. There's a grill right there with the culinary team member grilling it up fresh, and then a savory garlic spread. This is always one of my favorites, so I'm excited to try it again this year. It's so good. This not buttery spread on it, with the garlic and the little crumbles on it. It's almost got like panko or some kind of breadcrumbs on it. It has a little crunch along with the corn. If you like grilled corn, you can't go wrong. I don't think it's as good as the corn in Africa and Animal Kingdom, because that one actually has some heat, and this is more just garlicky, savory corn. But it's very good corn on the cob, plant-based eater or not. If you like corn on the cob, this is really tasty. I have completed the Garden Graze, so I went and got my prize, which is this very cute little plastic cup that says Garden Graze on it, and inside is mango limeade Dole Whip. You cannot buy this. The only way to get this Dole Whip is by doing the Garden Graze. What's interesting though is it comes with this white chocolate decal on it, which is not plant-based. I made them check, I asked very nicely, and they did call a chef, confirms this is not plant-based. So if you are a plant-based eater, they can hold this, just let them know that you don't want the little chocolate decal. I think it's very, very cute, don't get me wrong, but I think it's interesting that in a plant-based crawl, they give a prize that is not completely plant-based. But in addition to that, you've got a little pack of wildflower seeds, so you can take home a little flower and garden magic and bring it to your house. I'm not a huge mango fan, but I love lime Dole Whip. It's one of my favorite flavors. It's up on the top of my list along with lemon and coconut, and I definitely taste more of the lime than the mango. It's just really light and refreshing, and they give you a pretty big serving. Like, that's a full serving of Dole Whip. I always love doing these crawls, some more than others, just because I think it's a great way to explore and try new things. Who doesn't love getting a prize? And I think a custom cup of Dole Whip is definitely the best prize. Like I said, you don't have to get all 5 things. If only one thing sounds good to you, get it 5 times, or get a few things multiple times, or try all 5. I really enjoyed the plant-based crawl, even though I'm, again, not a plant-based eater. I liked all of the things that I ate as part of this crawl, especially that avocado toast, especially that corn, and that coconut toast like cheesecake. I would get all those again, no questions asked, not even doing the crawl. So, as a fun kind of bonus surprise that we hoped for and has come true, they have added a new beacon show once again. So the Spaceship Earth beacon lights up for the 50th anniversary, and since Festival of the Holidays, they've done cute little specialty ones for each festival. So at Festival of the Holidays, they lit it up, making it look like a tacky Christmas sweater to Christmas music. At Festival of the Arts, they did Rainbow Connection with Kerbit singing, and for Flower and Garden Festival, they're using Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas. This is really, really fun. These beacon shows are very short. They alternate between the 50th beacon and the specialty beacon one, and they are so great. I mean, I love the 50th beacon here at EPCOT more than any others. I think that's a pretty unanimous decision, and it's just a wonderful, magical way to end your day at Flower and Garden. We've done it. We've made 22 stops around EPCOT, eaten at every single location you can at the Flower and Garden Festival, so now it's time for Best of the Fest. And don't worry about writing this all down. We have this all printable for you. Just head to this website, sign up for our free newsletter. This list will come straight to your inbox so you have it ready to go when you are coming to the Flower and Garden Festival. So without further ado, Molly's Best of the Fest. The goat cheese croissant and La Vie en Rose slush in France, the frushi in Japan, the tuna and the orange peel beer from Citrus Flight, the UK cider flight and the BLT scone from Cider House, the Mala chicken and crab rangoon in China, both the lavender martini from Refreshment Port and the hibiscus gin lemonade from Farmer's Feast, the flatbread from Honey Bistro, violet lemonade from Pineapple Promenade, the taco vampiro from Mexico, the arepas and the coconut cake from La Isla Fresca, basically everything at Sunshine Griddle, which also gets my Best of the Fest booth. So let me know what you're most excited to try down in the comments, and happy eating. Well, that is a wrap on this year's Flower and Garden Festival here at Epcot. I hope you had fun following along. Are you headed to this festival? Definitely let us know down in the comments. In the meantime, friends, it's been magical. Now go watch my Hidden Secrets of Epcot video. Bye!